Okay, the Detroit Lions have done a lot right this offseason. And I think there's one move that they could do, and you're going to either love me or hate me for saying this, that could ruin everything. I mean, it could take down everything. And I'm not going to beat around the bush with this, but here's what I want to do. I want to explain why it would ruin everything and also explain why the other two options or other three options are all better. So stick around. Let me give you what the other options are, why they're better, and then we'll go from there. Also, opening day, go Tigers. We Detroit versus everybody. Let's go. Anyways, the biggest mistake the Detroit Lions can make this offseason is signing or trading for Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson's been given that non-exclusive tag, which is not overly pricey this year, but it allows other teams to go and negotiate with Lamar Jackson. I am not saying that Lamar Jackson is a bad quarterback. I am not saying that I don't want Lamar Jackson on the Lions. What I am saying is that Lamar Jackson is not worth three things combined. I'm not saying he's not worth one of them or two of them. I'm saying he's not worth all of them. And here's what he's not worth. He's not worth 2 first-round picks plus $50 million a year plus $200 million fully guaranteed, or $230 million fully guaranteed. That 4 years, $200 million, 5 years, $250 million fully guaranteed money. If he is asking for all three of those things, it is not a good move for the Lions. And this is what this non-exclusive tag allows teams to do. So why am I saying he's not worth that? Like, why am I talking about this and saying he's not worth it? I asked this question to a couple of sports loving buddies, and I just said to them, guys, who is going to give up 2 first-round picks to have to pay Lamar Jackson a guaranteed $50 million a year? If Lamar Jackson, I need to be careful with how I say this because people they need to take things the wrong way. If Lamar Jackson was a pocket quarterback who had a proven track record of always being healthy, maybe. But these fully guaranteed contracts in the violent world of the NFL are a no-go. And so I'm not saying I don't think Lamar Jackson's good. I'm not saying I don't think Lamar Jackson would help the Detroit Lions. I think he would. But that kind of guaranteed money? No, thank you. And 2 first-round picks. So either this year or next year, and the way it works is 2023 first rounder, 2024 first rounder. And it's our picks. So we'd still have the 6th pick, I believe. So that is one thing that makes me wonder. But Dan Campbell has come out and said no to this. But let's just do a little comparison of Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff in the first place. Lamar Jackson in 2019 had his breakout year. 36 touchdowns. He threw the ball for 3,100 yards, started 15 games. He ran the ball, I think, for another 1,000 yards or something like that. I mean, the dude was working. But since then, his production has gone down each year. His touchdown rate has gone down in the following years. His quarterback rating has never even come close, the QBR. All right. And it hasn't been close in those following years. And in the last 2 years, he's never played a full 16 games other than his first year when he wasn't starting. He just played in. He only started 7 games. But in the last 2 years, he's only played in 12 games. And he has a habit of getting unhealthy during the playoff time because of the style of play in which he plays with. And I don't believe he's a good enough thrower of the football based on a lot of stats. Maybe it's passing yards. Are you telling me, like, we're going to look at Jared Goff's here in a second, but 3,100, 2,700, 2,800, almost 29, and 2,200. Like, that's not a lot of yards, even if you're only playing 12 games or something. But when you're starting 15 games and you're throwing for 2,700 yards, and I understand he's going to rush for a bunch too. I totally understand that. But what I'm also saying is if he's not rushing, what is he doing? He's made 2 Pro Bowls. He was an all-pro first-team player. I don't know if he's an MVP that year or not. But there's a lot of here, and his QB rating is a 96.7 overall for his career. But again, his best year was his second year by far. And the last 2 years have been his second and third worst years. His second and third worst years. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look at our current guy. Because if you want the right to pay someone $50 million, let's see who it should be. And I'm not saying Goff is worth $50 million. Please don't hear me saying that. Everybody calm down. I did not say that, right? But here you have Goff. He, over that same course of time, has thrown for 38, 46, 46, 39, 32. All right, that was in 14 games. 4,400 yards. He's thrown for a lot more yards. His touchdown percentages are not higher than Lamar's. I will absolutely admit that. His rating is a 95.8. And his QBR is similar to Lamar's. He's made 3 Pro Bowls. Here's the other side of it. He's played in the last years of his career, outside of his rookie year, 15, 16, 16, 15, 14, 17 games. He has played in a large amount of games. He has been healthy for the majority of his career. If you're talking guaranteed money, large amounts of guaranteed money, which you are for quarterbacks, you want health. You want health. And I think that's the struggle that I have. And this is not a knock on running quarterbacks. This is not a knock on Lamar Jackson. This is just saying that the play style that he has, now he's 26, what we've seen with mobile quarterbacks in the NFL that stay very, very mobile is their shelf life is not great. It's the quarterbacks that rely heavily on their arm that also can do damage with their feet that have lasting power. Russell Wilson. I mean, maybe that was just the system in Seattle. I don't know. Even the Bills coach McDermott is coming out saying Josh Allen will not run the ball as much as he did last year. This is not a recipe for longevity of a career. Not going to happen. You do not see quarterbacks that are run first quarterbacks in the NFL playing in their 30s. You just don't really see it. I said run first. I didn't say run also. So here's the other options the Detroit Lions have. It's keep Jared Goff. They have him for 2 years at $30 million each year. Not a bad deal when you look at current quarterback salaries. I'd rather pay Jared Goff $30 million a year to be my starting quarterback than I would Lamar Jackson 50. I'm just going to be honest with you. I would, especially with the system that we have set up for him. Okay, so there's that. That is something that you can be said. The other one, see if a quarterback falls to you at 6. You have 2 first-round picks. If you want to use one of them, use one on a quarterback. What if Anthony Richardson falls? Are we going to be feeling silly because we're paying $50 million to Lamar Jackson when we could have been paying $6 million to Anthony Richardson? And for the next 4 or 5 years, too. So see if a quarterback falls. And then the third option is just wait till later in the draft and draft a quarterback. So either stick it out with Goff, draft a quarterback high to be Goff's replacement, or draft a quarterback that would be a developmental quarterback in the second or third round. We have a lot of draft capital. Like I think all those solutions are much better than Lamar Jackson. I'm glad Dan Campbell said it, but I just wanted to come out here. Lamar Jackson is being talked about so much. So I really felt the need to at least talk about it and address it with what's going on with the Lions. I really do feel like it would be the crucial mistake. I'm not saying he wouldn't make us better in the immediate. He would. We would be better this year with Lamar Jackson. If you think this team is a Super Bowl caliber and you want to swing for the fences and go for it, like I do understand that side of it, the team would be better. But Lamar Jackson has played on what is an icon. Like it is like the pinnacle of what a franchise should be. The Baltimore Ravens. You think of the Steelers, you think of the Ravens, the Patriots, if you want to say that. You think about these teams, the 49ers, that year in, year out are very good, well-run teams, and they've done almost nothing with Lamar. And what I mean by almost nothing is no championships. So to think that Lamar would come in here and all of a sudden the Lions would win the Super Bowl, I'm not feeling great about that. And the way we backloaded our contracts, and the void years that we put on him, to then add a $50 million quarterback just doesn't seem like something we'd be wanting to do. So I say no on Lamar Jackson. Let me know if you feel differently. You're allowed to. Let me know if you agree with me. But either way, hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Hit that subscribe button below. Leave a comment. Talk to you later.